I am in a reading slump. I hoped I would not have to make this video this year because it's been, what, we're now into our 8th month of the year. Right now it's August 3rd and I've not been in a reading slump the whole year. I am now in a reading slump. I don't even want to. Oh. So it's not been a long one, but I need to get out of it. It's been like a week and I've maybe read 30 pages. And yeah, no, I cannot keep doing this. I cannot. Reading is my escape. So if I'm stressing out, I read to get out of that stress and it helps me just center my mind. I've not read for a week. Well, like I said, I read 30 pages in the past week. I'm losing my mind here. I'm literally losing my mind. We need to get out of this reading slump ASAP. ASAP. I have work the second half of the week. I have work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I have I had today off. So the rest of today, I have tomorrow and Tuesday off. We need to get as much out of this reading slump in the next 2.5 days, not even, like 2 days and like 1 night before I go back to work, because when I go back to work, if I'm in a slump, I'm just not gonna read. We need to get out of this reading slump. It's not funny. I have books I want to read. I'm also I'm on a book buying ban, so I'm not buying new books, but now I'm just not reading. No, that's not the point of the book buying ban. The book buying ban is we read the books I have to then buy new ones. The point of the book buying ban is not to just not read. No, that's not what we're doing here. So, I'm gonna read. We're gonna get out this reading slump together. I'm currently reading, the book I've read maybe 50 pages of, I think, is Of Ashes and Wildflowers by Erin Fay. This is a romantic fantasy. It's an indie book. And so far I am enjoying it. I'm on page 57, which is chapter 7. So that's how much I've read since last week. So since last Friday, I've read 57 pages. Today is Sunday, the week after. So we really need to get out of this. But I'm on chapter 7. So far I am enjoying it. So it's not even like I'm not enjoying this book. I just don't pick it up. I pick it up once a day and it's right before I go to bed and I read maybe a chapter and I put it down. I'm not doing that. That is not what we're doing here. That is not how I read. I read in the morning before work, if I have work. I read in the morning before work and I read when I get home. I do not read one chapter right before I go to sleep. We're not doing this. We're not, okay? We're not. So, I am gonna tidy my room up because otherwise I will not be able to read if my room's messy. And it's not even messy. My bed's just got some stuff on it that I need to put in my desk drawers, and that's literally it. That is literally just my bed. And all it is my headphones, I need to put them away. My Apple Watch I need to put on charge. My headband, I took it off to film this intro. My body lotion, just got out of the shower, I need to put that away. I've got a Switch game, I've got my car keys and stuff, it's on my bed. I need to get them off my bed. I need to make my bed. The duvet's pulled over, but it's not made. I need to make my bed. And we need to sit and we need to chill and read. I will not have it any other way. I'm gonna set myself a goal. I need to be reading by 8 PM tonight. So I've got 40 minutes to tidy up. I need to ring my dad. I tidy up, ring my dad, sort myself out. I've maximum of 40 minutes. I can read before 8, don't worry. I have a maximum of 40 minutes and then it's reading time for at least half an hour. I'm gonna at least read from 8 till half 8 and then we can read more after. Hopefully that will help. And I find sometimes if I don't want to read, splitting up So like doing reading sprints, I've not done reading sprints since last Friday. I've not read much since last Friday. So doing like 20 minutes and then like 5-minute break in between, that helps. I also find like setting myself like a chapter limit kind of thing. So if I'm on chapter 10, I'll be like, okay, I read chapter 15. And then I split it up into like 5 chapter chunks. So I do like 5 chapters, mini break, 5 chapters, mini break. I find that helps me as well. These are just things that I do personally. When being in a reading slump, read whatever I want. If I'm in the middle of like books, read whatever I want. If that's starting a new book, I'm going to start a new book. If that's rereading a book, I'm going to reread a book. Read whatever I want, because whatever reading I do is going to help. So I'm going to read Of Ashes and Wildflowers. And if I don't, I'm also currently rereading Secrets of the Dead by Laura Carter. And I'm really enjoying that. I'm about 60 pages in, but again, not picked it up since last Friday. So that would be a really good one also to keep reading. Again, like I said, if I'm in the mood for something completely different, I will just pick up something completely different. Because as long as I'm reading, I don't care what I read when I'm in a slump, because we need to get out of it. So if I'm reading something completely different, if I end up picking up Kiss the Sky, or a book that's on my TBR, or a book that's not on my TBR, or a book on my Kindle, I do not care what it is as long as I read, because any reading is going to help me get out of the reading slump. And that's how my reading slumps are. I typically get in reading slumps when I'm sick, because I physically cannot read when I'm sick. I'm fine. I'm healthy. I'm not sick. So I'm just in a reading slump and I need to get out of it, because I have other things I want to do, but I'm like, oh, I need to read. And then I don't read, but then I don't do anything else that I want to do. I just sit there on my phone. I've been doom scrolling on TikTok. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not. Okay, I quit. TikTok, no more just doom scrolling. Not tonight, no more tomorrow, and no more Tuesday. Tomorrow I'm going to force myself to go out the house. And I'm going to write and read while I'm out. To like, but I'll speak to you later. I will be reading in the next 38 minutes, okay? I will be. Okay, it's reading time. It's now 7:33. I'm going to put my headphones on. I'm going to put on some You Miss Hogwarts Terribly playlist, right? Put my headphones on and I'm going to sit and read. I'm going to read as much as I can. I'm going to read to the end of the first song video, which is 22 minutes, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, it's a little bit later. It's now it's like literally 7 minutes to 9. I did sit and read for like 20 minutes and then I haven't read since. But I am now on page 88 of Ashes and Wildflowers, and I'm on chapter 12. I am enjoying it a little. I'm starting to get like further into it. I'm 25% through it right now. So far so good. I am enjoying it. I'm having a good time, but the urge to pick up and read it still isn't there. I'm like, okay, you need to read. I'll like sit and read. Like I read for that 20 minutes. Like I said, I'm gonna read for at least 20 minutes. I read for 20 minutes and have not read since. I'm gonna read at least a chapter before I go to sleep. So I'm probably gonna like end this clip, read a chapter, go to bed. But yeah, I'm just struggling to pick up books at the moment. I am determined to be out of whatever reading slump I am in by the end of the week. So we have a week and then we're going to be back to normal, but we'll see. Okay, so since I last spoke to you last night, I did end up reading quite a bit before I went to bed last night. I think I read like 3 chapters before I went to bed, and then I've read like 2 chapters today, and it's like 7:20. I'm on page 132, which is chapter 16. I'm still reading Of Ashes and Wildflowers, and I am still very much enjoying it. I'm liking where it's going, and I'm hoping we keep going in the direction that I want it to go in. But we're about 37%. So my goal is to get at least 60%, I think, tonight, because it's a very easy book to read and it is only like 300 pages, 340 pages long, and I'm on page 132, so I only have about like 210 pages left. So I think I will be able to make some progress on it if I just sit and read. So that's what I'm gonna do tonight, and then I'll update you. But I'm hoping to either finish this book tonight or tomorrow morning, or slash tomorrow, before I have to go to work on Wednesday. So I have tomorrow off as well, but I'm hoping that tomorrow we can start a new book instead of reading this one. Well, after we finish this one, hoping I can then start a new book and we can start to make progress on that. But that's the plan. Okay, so I have a little bit of a reading update. I did read quite a bit of Ashes and Wildflowers last night. I did get up to 61%, so my goal to get to 60% was completed, but I'm now on page 212, so I have about 130 pages left. I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying where the plot's going. I really hope it keeps going in the direction that I want it to go, because if it keeps going the way I want it, it's going to be like at least like a 4.5 read, which is really good, but I am enjoying it. Like I said, I'm on page 212, I'm on chapter 27. I'm planning to sit and read a bit more of this morning before I go, to go get some stuff done. But yeah, I'm hoping to finish this morning. It says I have about 2 hours left. I don't know whether it will take me 2 hours to read what is actually left, but we will see. I'm gonna sit in just a second. I'm just gonna finish getting ready and then I'm gonna sit and read for a little bit, and we will see how much we end up doing before I go, and then if I'm close enough to the end, I'll probably just finish it while I'm out. It's probably my plan. But yeah, so far I am enjoying it, and I have got the urge to pick up, but I'm still only picking it up like maybe twice a day, and we'll see. Just because I'm finishing a book doesn't mean I'm out my reading slump. I'm gonna definitely start a new book today, and we'll just see it go from there, how we feel. But yeah, so far so good. I am enjoying, I'm having a good time, and we'll just see how the rest of the book is. So I just finished of Ashes and Wildflowers. Let's talk about it. So I gave it a 4-star rating in the end. I honestly did really enjoy it. I really liked the plot, the characters, the setting. I liked how it went. The ending for me personally did feel a bit rushed. I don't really know how to explain it, but also like the love interests, like I don't like either of them. I don't like it. I don't like them. I don't like him. I don't like, because technically there's 2 love interests within the book, but there is one that she ends up kind of with, technically, at the end of book 1. And I don't really like either of them. I think because at the start of the book, the one that she ends up with at the end, he's really rude and mean to her, that I just couldn't really get past that. And then the second one is like really possessive, so also can't really get past that. But I'm hoping like as we go into the next book and the relationship starts to develop and we see more character development of the love interest that she's with at the end of the book, I'm hoping that I will enjoy it a little bit more and enjoy the romance a bit more. I do really enjoy the plot. I really like the setting. I like how the plot's gone. I do enjoy her as a character, which is always good. Her name's Naria. I do really enjoy her as a character, and I do like where the plot has gone, but I'm hoping that in the next book we get a bit more character development, particularly in the male love interest. Basically I really hope we get more character development in the next book of the male love interest that we are with at the end of the first book. I really enjoy it. I gave it 4 stars. I am very wanting to read the second one. I think I'm gonna wait a little bit and then I'll read the second one. I think I still want to read it this month, but I think I'm gonna read something else and then read the second one. I don't really know what I'm in the mood for. I kind of want to read a fantasy, I think, and I kind of want to do maybe a series that I've already started. So let me grab my options because I do want to do one that's on my TBR for the month of August. So this is my TBR basket. So the 2 options are like on my TBR for the month of August that are fantasy series that I'm in the middle of are both quite thick. So we have Lady of Ashes by Melissa K. Rodrich, which is the 3rd book in the Lady of Darkness series. And we have The Inadequate Heir by Danielle Jensen, which is the 3rd book in the Bridge Kingdom series. So they're both pretty thick, like, and the font in both of them is like a similar size. So, I mean, they could both be options. And it would probably be good to do a series that I'm already in the middle of. But I do also have like Fading Desire by BJ Dolan, which is a romance, which could be a good one because I think this is gonna be an interconnected standalone romance. So this is like just like a romance. The Hurricane Wars, I don't really want to start a new series right now. Obviously I have just started the Of Ashes and Wildflowers series. I also have Air of Storms, which could be an option, and we have The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy, which I do really want to read. The font's pretty big, but I think let's go for a book that is already on my like one of these 3. I think. I think it's been a little while since I've read a romance, so this could be good. Or we could read one of these. I really want to read Lady of Ashes and Lady of Embers this month, and I'd really like to read at least The Inadequate Heir this month. I think I'm going to go for Lady of Ashes because, so Lady of Ashes is book 3 in the Lady of Darkness series, and the ending of book 2 was something. So I do really want to go into this, and I'm excited to see how the story and the plot develops in this one on the lead up to book 4 and book 5. And then this one, the reason I think I'm going to go for this one over this one is because these are interconnected duologies. So I think they do carry on slightly kind of the plot, I guess. But these are interconnected duologies, and this is the first book and the next duology. So I can kind of pick this up whenever, but I would like to think I want to finish this series. So I'm going to go for this. I'm going to go for Lady of Ashes by Melissa K. Rodrich as our next read, which I'm really excited to read. So I need to grab a bookmark so we can start this. But I'm going to start this when I go out, I think. So I'm going to tidy up now. I'm going to pack my bag. I'm going to go out. And then I will probably get a clip of me reading while I'm out, maybe, potentially. But I'll speak to you later on. But so far, the reading slump is going. I think reading Of Ashes and Wildflowers and it being like a shorter book, it was like 340 pages for a fantasy that's shorter compared to what I normally read. I mean, this is like the average thickness of a normal fantasy book I read. This is like nearly 600 pages. So I'm gonna pick this up. But so far, I think I do feel myself getting out of the reading slump and wanting to read a little bit more. And I think this is definitely going to help because I really want to go into book 3. So. Okay, so I have a reading update. Obviously, my last update was I was deciding what book to read, and I ended up choosing to read Lady of Ashes. And I am enjoying this. I'm taking my time to get back into this series because I think I've read 2 books. Let me check, I'll check. I think it's been 2 books since finishing book 2. no, I read one book, which was just Of Ashes and Wildflowers, but I finished Lady of Shadows on the 22nd of July, and today is literally the 5th of August. So it's been like 2 weeks since I finished book 2 in the series, so I'm just taking my time to get back into it, but I do remember where the plot was going, the characters and everything. So, but I'm now on page 36, which is chapter 6, and I am really enjoying it. I'm very happy to be back in this world and back with these characters, and yeah, there's like nothing more for me to say other than that I'm like enjoying it. These books typically have taken me, in the past it's taken me like a week to read them, so don't be surprised if I'm reading this book for the rest of the vlog. But I have also, it won't be in this video, but I'm currently also filming a Secrets of the Dead Lost Kingdom Saga full spoiler reread vlog. So I did just read a chapter of this. I'm now on page 76 of this, but yeah, these are my 2 books. And like, I read a chapter of this, I was like, oh, kind of in the mood for a little bit of Secrets of the Dead, so I've just read a chapter of this. So I thought I was coming out of the slump Monday and Tuesday and Sunday. We did really well. I've not read one word today. It's now like 8:15. I was at work all day and I literally do not want to read. Like, the last thing I want to do is sit and read. I'm in a slump. I don't know whether it's like actually reading slump or it's just like I come home from work and I just physically am too tired to read. You girl's struggling. I'm struggling big time. Why can't I just sit and read a book? Like, I had no issue like 2 weeks ago, and now I'm like, ugh, I don't even want to sit here and read a book. Who is she and what have you done with Christina? Like, seriously. I'm hoping we can start to kind of get out of it again. But I am working now I'm working the next 3 days. And then I have Sunday off. So we'll just have to see. So it's now Sunday night and I'm still very much in a reading slump. I have not updated since Wednesday. So it's been a little while, but I have read the most I've read literally in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday combined today, which I have, and it's not been a lot. I've read 42 pages. I decided to start Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. I'm thinking maybe a change of genre will help. Normally it does help. So this is a thriller. I typically don't read thrillers. I typically don't read mysteries either. I typically do stick to fantasy and romance. They are my 2 genres. I don't typically go out of it. So I am a bit thin with thrillers just because I get really scared, personally. I'm very much a scaredy cat. So, but I have decided to pick up Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. I love her other books. All her other books are YA. So the Good Girls Guide to Murder series, The Reappearance of Rich Price, and 5 to 5. I seriously love all of them. Like, they're pretty much all 5-star reads for me. So I'm really hoping that this will help, one, get me out of slump because I want to read it. I want to binge it because it is that little bit more of like I kind of have to read it at once or in less sessions so I don't freak myself out, because I will freak myself out about it. But I did start this day. I'm on page 42. I'm going to read a little bit more, I think, before I go to bed. Although it's probably not the best thing to do before I go to bed. But I think I want to at least read like one more chapter before I go to sleep. And then tomorrow I'm planning to pick it up and read as much of it as I can. Okay, so I have been reading. Not quite dead yet. I'm literally obsessed. I have actually probably sat here for maybe like 2.5 hours and read. I have about 140-ish pages left. I was on page like 52 this morning, I think. Roughly that. I'm now on page 285. I'm absolutely binging this book. I am obsessed. I need to know what happens. I'm going to sit and read it. Obviously, this does not mean I'm at my reading slump, because it's all about if we can pick up something after and also read consistently. But yeah. Holly Jackson does it again. She does it again. So It's been about an hour since I finished Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. This book I think was exactly what I needed. I seriously like want to pick up a book, and I'll talk about that in a second, but this was a 5-star read. Like, Holly Jackson does it again. She does it every single time. I don't like thrillers. I don't know, well, it's not like I don't like them. I am just, like I said in a previous clip, I just get very creeped out. Every single Holly Jackson book that I've read since ever, I have read them in like 2 days max, like 2-3 days maximum. I have read them. This I read in maybe 20, so I started it about 9 o'clock yesterday morning. I only read like 50 pages yesterday, and I finished it at 1:15 today. So it's the next day. Seriously, she does it every time. I don't know how she does it every time, but she does, and I'm obsessed. And every time I finish one of her books, I'm like, my heart hurts. I'm like mentally clocked out. I don't know how she does it every time. I'm like invested in the characters, the storyline, like everything, and I just can't. I love Billy and Jet so much. Like, they're the two, like, well, Jet's the main character, but I love them and their dynamic so much that I was just like pining for more. Like, I wish, like, this book could have been like 800 pages, like double the amount, and I would just still sat and read every single word, because it's that, like, she just writes books that good. So I have finished it. I have filled in my journal with it. Now I'm actually decided to pick back up The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. I read a chapter of this maybe like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago maybe, and I was like, oh, I enjoyed that, and then I ended up picking up something else and never picked it back up. So I've decided to pick up The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. I did just sit and read to chapter 4, which is page 18, but I just sat and read a couple chapters just to be like, am I actually in the mood for this or what? And I am in the mood for it. I actually am wanting to film this clip so then I can just sit and get further into this book. So I started reading The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez, and I am enjoying it. I'm about 50 pages in. I'm on page 49. But I think I kind of need something that's a little bit more fast-paced. I could pick back up Lady of Ashes, but I don't want to pick that up while I'm in a slump. Like, I'd rather not. I'd rather wait. So I don't really know what I could read, but I kind of need like a fast-paced fantasy or something like that. This is The Notorious Virtues by Alwyn Hamilton. I'm 90% sure before this book came out I did get approved for an ARC, or I wanted the ARC of this on NetGalley. I either got approved or I wanted it and didn't get approved. I can't remember, but I recognised the cover when I bought it. So like, this could be an option, because this kind of gives me the Inheritance Games but magic vibe, and I really did like their Inheritance Games books when I read them. So I'm kind of between this or Born of Fay. This is Born of Fay by Emily Bayliss. This is a indie fantasy, which it came out this year, but it's book 1 of the Ashbourne series. It basically says Eliana, basically she spent nearly 21 years living in a quiet, ordinary life, but she steps into a bookstore and everything changes, and she's basically, it says, in an instant the life she has carefully pieced together has been ripped away, thrust into the world of a fae. She's discovered a destiny she has never dreamed of, one tied to an ancient power, a forgotten birthright, and a war that threatened to consume everything in its past. This sounds something very up my street, and like I said, it doesn't sound too complex. Like, it doesn't sound too much like I'm going to struggle to get into it. It's big print. Like, it's not small print, and it's only 280 84 pages. So yeah, it's like not too long. So I think I would really enjoy it. Try pick this up and we'll see how I feel. Because like I could end up picking this up and be like, actually I'm in the mood for the friend zone. I don't know. I think let's try pick up Born of Fae and we will go from there. I still am in the slump, but I'm just trying to go with what my mood is telling me to read. Let's give it a go and we will see. Okay, so I have a reading update. I just finished Born of Fae by Emily Bayliss. Let me talk about it. First, I'm gonna read the review that I've put on Goodreads, and then I'll kind of like go in a little bit more in depth of why I said what I have said. So I put 2.5 stars. I did really enjoy this, but personally I struggled to follow them with the amount of POVs in my mind. They all felt really similar and not that distinct. Maybe it would have helped to have their name at the top or something like that. I liked Aliana, but I'm a big character reader and struggled to connect with her or the other characters we met. I enjoyed the plot, but as I'm such a character person, it felt a little bit flat for me personally. In the future, I think I would pick up the next book, but I don't know whether it would be an immediate read for me. So that is literally the review I wrote. So let me break that down a little bit. So obviously I gave it a 2.5 and I did enjoy my time with it. And a 2, like even for me, like a 2-star rating is not a bad rating. But it just felt a little bit flat for me. And the concept of the book was really good. I did really enjoy it. But I don't know whether, a lot of the time it felt quite rushed. Like a lot happens in this book and it could have been spread out a little bit more than it was. And like I said, I found it really difficult because of the amount of point of views in the story and it's never really, I really struggled to like figure out what POV we were in. It never said once like what POV we were in, and there was a lot of different ones. And yes, they help add to the story because you get then what is happening in the story or background in the story from multiple different characters, but I struggled because I didn't know who was talking, because like I said, it was never said in the book. So that's kind of my main thing about how I feel about this book. I did enjoy the plot, but like I said, it did feel a little bit rushed, and because I am such a character person and I didn't connect with the characters in this book, that I also felt like I wasn't as invested in the plot, because obviously it does focus around our main character, Aliana, and I didn't connect to her, so the plot then felt a bit flat because I wasn't as invested in the plot because I wasn't invested as much in the characters. But for what it is, I really enjoyed it. For a debut fantasy, I think I did really enjoy it. I don't know whether maybe it needs that little bit more or what, but like I did say, I will probably maybe pick up book 2 in the future, but I don't know whether it's a book that would be like as soon as she announces it, as soon as it comes out, immediate read. I think it may be like a little bit of a read when I want kind of book, but I have read the book and I did enjoy it for what it was. I don't really know what I'm in the mood to go into next, but I definitely want to start something else tonight. I think I did some reading sprints earlier. I have no clips of me reading Born of Fae, but I did do some reading sprints for about 2 hours. But yeah, I didn't end up filming any clips of me reading, but I had to cut them short because my phone was dying. So I think I might go live about 6 p.m. tonight. I'm debating about like 6 or 7. It's now 4:15, so I have a little while. I do want to choose something else. I don't really know what. Maybe I'll continue with one of the books I've already started, or we will start a new book. But yeah, I thought I'd let you know that I have finished Born of Fae, and they are my thoughts on the book. But so far, reading wise, I feel good. I've finished 2 books in 2 days, which is crazy while being in a slump, but we kind of have to see if we can keep the slump away while I'm working the next few days. So yeah, I will update you later when I figure out what book I'm going to read next, and yeah. So it has been a little while since I last updated. I think it was probably on Tuesday. I think I've been dead silent since then. But I did read. I ended up picking back up The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez, and I literally ended up binging this book. I read it Tuesday night and then Monday morning, and ended up reading over half the book. Not Monday morning, Wednesday morning, and then I ended up reading like half the book on Tuesday night, and then on Wednesday morning I finished the book. So I really did enjoy this. I gave it, I think I settled on like a 3.5. I did enjoy it. It's probably, I don't know whether Say You'll Remember Me is under this, or I don't know. I haven't got it round in my brain yet, but I did really enjoy this. So in this book, if you didn't know, in this book we are following Kirsten and Josh, and basically Kirsten is in a relationship with a Marine, and Josh is a firefighter who is her best friend's fiance's best friend, basically. And we go through the story of them being attracted to each other, but she's got a boyfriend, so it's not going to work, and we basically just go through the story of that. And I did really enjoy it. Like I said, I gave it like a 3.5. I don't know whether this is above Say You'll Remember Me or whether it's under Say You'll Remember Me. I'm not too sure on how this ranks in comparison to all the other Abby Jimenez books that I've read, but I did really enjoy this. And today is Friday, and I'm officially going to say that I am out of my reading slump. So I only read a couple pages yesterday because I had a very busy day and I'm not feeling great. I was meant to work yesterday, meant to be at work today, and potentially I'm going to work tomorrow. I'm going to see how I feel. I'm not feeling great. I won't go into it, but I'm just not feeling great. So typically when I'm not feeling great, don't really read much. If I do, it's only a little bit. So I did read a little bit yesterday, and I'm going to read a little bit probably later tonight. But I am going to officially say that I am out of my reading slump, because I now am like wanting to read. I'm just sick and it just doesn't work properly. But yeah, so I just wanted to come on and end this clip. Obviously in this video I think we finished 4 books. So we finished Of Ashes and Wildflowers by Erin Fay, which was a 3.5. We finished Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson, which was a 5-star. Born of Fay by Emily Bayliss, which was a 2.5. And The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez, which was a 3.5. So we read 4 books, and I'm really happy with it. And I feel like I'm not in a reading slump anymore, and I feel like I could just pick up any book and be like, yeah, this is going to be a good time. So I just wanted to come on and end this clip off so we can get this video up for you. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!